This has been an amazing week for Baldur's Gate 3 fans, with the announcement of Community Notes 30 adding 12 new subclasses to the game. In addition, some incredible mods were released on both PC and console. I'll be recapping all of this in this video because there's a lot of really great things to talk about and break down. So, Community Update 30, there are some specific words here that I think adds a lot of extra value to the game that not a lot of people are talking about, but Community Update 30, photo mode, crossplay, and new subclass arriving next year. The new subclass was a huge shock, so shouts out to Larian Studios for, again, going above and beyond our expectations. However, I want you to focus right here. So let's talk about the mods here. With the continued support of mod authors in the community testing out our new features, we have big updates still to come. Not a lot of people are talking about this. This is actually pretty crazy, including adding more functionality to tell your own stories. This is the part that I think could be quite crazy, because I don't know what this means, but maybe there's going to be like a custom campaign mode, somewhat similar to what Divinity Original Sin 2 had. Maybe they'll allow modders to create their own campaigns. I know there is some in the works right now, but hey, this is actually wild. But even more functionality, tell your own stories, new features, big updates still to come. Not enough people are talking about this. I think this is one of the biggest things. Obviously, 12 classes, new subclasses, that adds a whole lot to this, but hey, that looks really good. I'm also really excited here for the crossplay. This is another thing that's coming to Baldur's Gate 3 in patch 8. We knew this would be the last patch because crossplay kind of makes things difficult to further update, because the mod or the updates have to come out at the same time then for each PlayStation and PC. But crossplay, this allows people on PlayStation 5 to also play with PC players. I think this is amazing that they're adding this in, and I don't blame them for taking a little bit of time to add this to the game, because obviously that adds a lot. I'll get to the subclasses in a moment, but there's a lot to love. I must say, we got some cool things with tons of unique animations. But photo mode, the photo mode here looks amazing. I am super excited. As someone that's pretty big into photography, they have a lot of different things that you can modify here. You can add different focal lengths, different field of view, different exposures, different depths of field, different focuses. There's a lot of customization here that allow you to mess around like you're an actual photographer. Think Pokemon Snap, but for Lae'zel, Karlach, Shadowheart, Gale, Asterion, and Will. There's lots of cool things coming with this. I'm so excited for it. You can also change the scenes too, so you can remove or add in characters. You can add different poses to them. And in addition to this, you can change you can add some post-processing. Console does get a little bit different from PC from what I've seen, but adding in a bunch of different options like brightness, dialogue, saturation, etc. But also adding in some frames. And what I think looks really cool is the stickers, adding like a crown to Dirge here. I also think this is cool that there's a selfie way of holding the camera. That's cool, but you can see here the Mind Flayer has the owl bear cap on, so that's pretty cool too. But yeah, I'm super excited for the photo mode to come, because I love seeing different pictures from the game. Anytime that people post stuff from Baldur's Gate 3, I love it. So more of that is coming. And also there's cool emojis like this is Will sticker here. I think that's so funny. Patch 8 will be doing a stress test here, and this is actually coming to console as well. So if you're looking to get into this, they'll be putting something out later talking about this Community Update 31. And yeah, this will let you know how you can take part. Now, I want to talk about this a bit later on, but Larian got nominated for Best Community Support at the Game Awards. I'm going to end the video off on this. Go vote if you haven't already, but I'll be bringing this up again, and I'll also have a link in the bio. And also, Very Larian Christmas is coming too as the holiday season sets in. December is in 2 days, very haunting, but they'll have a little Advent surprise for those both naughty and nice. But yeah, that is the update here. The subclasses are fantastic. I'm blown away by the choices that we're going to be getting here. So College of Glamour adds temporary health to your teammates, and it can charm the enemies, and then you can use the Mantle of Majesty to basically use command on those charmed targets. Path of the Giant Barbarian, you can turn big and throw things around. This is like the throwing build, but even better. Very strong with Tavern Brawler. Death Domain Cleric, having a new homebrew ability to explode corpses. So you can have Karlach go around, throw a corpse at an enemy, and then you can explode it. So that is fantastic. We also got ourselves Circle of the Stars Druid. There's a mod for this already out, and it's a lot of fun, but 3 different starry forms that enhance your casting and healing abilities. We also got the Oath of the Crown Paladin. I'm very curious to see how this one will play out. Not too many notes on what it'll be like, but you got the ability to taunt the enemy and also to restore teammates' health by absorbing damage for them. So that's cool. Arcane Archer, I know some people want to see a different subclass for the fighter. The Arcane Archer is really cool though, and can't wait to see what this ends up looking like. I think there is some placeholders for the icons there you can briefly see for a millisecond. But the Arcane Archer, I'm happy to see another Archer class, and for the fighter especially, because the champion was the only real fighter that was bow focused. But we got the Drunken Master Monk. I think that's hilarious. I wanted the Way of the Long Death Monk, but Drunken Master is even funnier, and there's also a mod for the Way of the Long Death, so the more the merrier. We have the Swarm Keeper Ranger. We can send out a swarm of jellyfish, moths, or bees to deal damage to the target. Swashbuckler Rogue, enough said. This is the most requested rogue subclass, and we now got it. A lot of people use this in Dungeons and Dragons. Shadow Magic Sorcerer with a homebrewed ability to summon in the Hound of Ill Omen. This sounds like it's going to be the Dirge's new, or Dark Urge's new default class, and it gets their power from the it gets the ability to Shadow Walk and also Superior Dark Vision. I'm a big Sorcerer fan. I'm excited to see the Shadow Magic. Hexblade and Bladesinger Wizard are probably the two most requested. Hexblade being the most powerful warlock, I would say, in Dungeons and Dragons, and you're very powerful right from the start all the way to the end. And then the Bladesinger Wizard is a unique subclass you can cast with your weapon, and you focus on using your weapon alongside spellcasting. So very cool. I could talk about these all day. I need to get into talking about some mods, because there's some fantastic new mods that have been added into Baldur's Gate 3. So I guess first things first, PC players now have the ability to add more enemies to in-game encounters, and this will add a bunch of different enemies in through sections of the game that you know and love. So at the very start of the game, more imps on the Nautiloid, and then other areas will also get more increased enemies. This is like a pseudo difficulty mod, giving you more chances to fight enemies, more XP. There's also mods to balance out the extra XP, because using this you will level up quite quicker. And yeah, this is awesome. I love any type of mod that adds more fights to the game. And this mod is made by Rilla Mod. We also got ourselves the Extra Encounters mod, which adds a bunch, 11 mini bosses and 20 new encounters to the game in a variety of different locations. You can see here a skeletal dragon that's in the Act 2, and we also got ourselves the Avatar of Lakith here, which is in the Astral Plane, and many other bosses, aberrations, you name it, they got it. This is also made by Rilla Mod again, and it adds a bunch of new fights to the game. What's not to love? Exactly that. So I'm excited to get to mess around with this some more. I've been enjoying it a lot so far. In addition to this, there's also a random spawn generator. This one's also available on Mac and console for PlayStation 5 and Xbox players. This summons in an item that lets you create this little ball that summons in more enemies, and you can make it randomly spawn enemies every 5 to 240 minutes, so you get a bit of randomness to it. You can also just throw it in and start fighting enemies. So for those of you that don't have Trials of Tav, we have Trials of Tav at home with this one. It just kind of adds a bit more fighting to the game. Not the same as Trials of Tav, I know, but maybe with things like this being added in the debug book, I think it's getting more and more likely that someone will crack the code and make a roguelike mod for the mod manager. So we'll just have to wait and see. I really like this one, made by Gabe Kemam Meskro. We also got ourselves Tactician Enhanced. I love this mod, made by Pixelbytes. They also created the increased party size mod. This scales with that mod actually, so if you're using that, you want to probably use this one too. It'll give the enemies more health, more actions, or more bonus actions. You get the full customization to scale it how you want. So if you want it, when you have 13 party members, that enemies have 280% health and extra 2 actions, no bonus actions, you can do that. Or at 6 party members, they get 10% more health and 1 extra action. Full customization, you can scale up the health. Every party member you add, you can have 5%, 10%, etc. Add in extra actions to the enemies. There's some fun challenge modes here too. It has a static mode or a scaling mode. There's just so much customization here. And it's compatible with every difficulty mod. So the random spawn generator, you can do that with it. So that's cool. If you want to have like your own little Trials of Tav, you can mess around with both of these mods. And it's now available on console as of yesterday. So that was a really nice Thanksgiving surprise. We also got ourselves the debug book. So this is a lesser known mod that was released a long time ago on September 10th. It's been updated recently, but this will have issues. Just want to put that out there. It's a debug book. It's what you expect whenever you get into debugging if you've used that before in games. But what you can do with this is you can teleport. You see the image here. You can teleport around to different acts. So you can go to Act 2, Act 3. There's a bunch of different cheats. You can add approval to your teammates. You can remove approval. You can romance certain characters. You can have a relationship with certain characters. You can make it so you pass every check. What's cool is you can add companions. So if you want Minsk in Act 1, you can now do that. It is a little buggy, just a heads up. So if you were to add like Minthara to your party in Act 1 right at the start of the game, she'll disappear from the Goblin Camp. So your mileage may vary. This isn't going to be perfect. Obviously, it's a debug mod. So just want to put that disclaimer out there before I get some comments saying that I was endorsing something that'll cause issues, because it will. It's just the nature of it. You could have a full run and have no problems, or you could have a run, have a problem within 5 minutes. It's hard to say. Your mileage may vary again. But some really cool class mods. These ones aren't on console, but I anticipate they will. Sumra Dagnoth has made these. So this is the fighter. We got fighter, monk, and barbarian. I've used these mods from Nexus Mod for a while. What's awesome about this mod creator is they condense all of these mods into one mod, and now you can download it through mod.io. So this comes with the Arcane Archer, which I mentioned previously, is coming to the game actually as an official subclass, but the Banneret, Purple Dragon Knight, or it's a buffer type of a fighter. It's very weak, but it's a nice roleplay option. We also got the Brute, the Cavalier, the Psy Warrior, Rune Knight, and Samurai. So lots of choices there as far as the fighter subclasses go. In addition to this, there's also the monk subclasses. So I know a lot of people are asking for the Way of the Long Death. It's here in this one. We also have the Way of the Kensei, the Way of the Drunken Master, the Way of the Astral Self, the Way of the Ascended Dragon, the Way of the Sun Soul, and the final one being the Way of Mercy. So a lot of cool subclasses for the monk. They're fun to play with. My favorite is the Way of the Long Death. I also really like the Sun Soul on like a Radiating Orb build, because you can stack up Radiating Orbs really quickly with your punches, stacking radiant damage. And then also with this, we got ourselves the Barbarian. So it has the Ancestral Guardian Barbarian, Battle Rager, Beast, Giant, Juggernaut, Storm Herald, and Zealot. So great choices here as far as the Barbarian goes. Cool actions. This is a little bit different from the one that was in Nexus mods, but nonetheless a very well done mod. So yeah, all three of these class mods are now available with tons of class mods, subclass mods within them. Fantastic. Also, just want to mention P4 Bangs. This is now available on console, and it was on PC since the start, but some people are asking about, they wanted on PC the Tav's Hair Salon. That one, unfortunately, is not coming to mod.io. However, you can make that with this mod. So yeah, you don't have to worry about Trials of Tav, or you don't have to worry about Tav's Hair Salon, because you can hair salon it up yourself by adding a bunch of different bangs to some of the hairstyles that's already in the game. Pretty nice. Fade's equipment distribution. I got to talk about this mod. It's only on PC at the moment, but what this does is it adds in a bunch of items throughout the game in a various amount of areas that make sense. Two, with this, it also will be coming to console down the road, and this mod was created for crossplay in mind. That's one thing that I think is really nice about some mods that's being updated and uploaded, is that the creators are working hard to make sure that there's crossplay in it. So shouts out to Graphic Fade there for putting this all together. Fade equipment distribution, very solid, very good mod. And then also this one just hit consoles, but it's also on PC, and a lot of people are starting to become aware of it. The Plasma Weapons Dark Set mod by Skirby. So yeah, you can roleplay your favorite Jedi and Sith. I've also posted 3 different builds using the Mindweaver, the Mystic, and the Eldritch Knight, so you can check those out if you were looking for a build to go with these and be able to throw your lightsaber and do a whole bunch of other effects with it. Also, Skirby has made some really cool mods here. The Slayer Warglaive is another one's popular, but there's also the Frostmourne Blade here. If you've played World of Warcraft, you'll know this one. And Dante's Rebellion Sword, if you've played Devil May Cry, you'll know this one. And many other great choices. So, the Twin Blades of Azeroth. Cool stuff. But to loop back around, Baldur's Gate 3 has been nominated for Best Community Support at the Game Awards 2024. And if you remember, Baldur's Gate 3 had a big sweep last year. They won every major Game of the Year award at the different 5 major outlets. This they fully deserve. I can't think of any other game. Like I play all these games. I played them all quite a bit this year, and with Fortnite and Helldivers 2 being 2 of the most played games, but Baldur's Gate 3 I played obviously the most, and this game deserves it. Announcing that they're adding 12 new subclasses, that goes above and beyond what any other game has done this year as a free DLC. There's 48 classes or subclasses already in Baldur's Gate 3, so to add 12 more, that's just next level. I have to say, Baldur's Gate 3 is the best game I've ever played, and they fully deserve best community support. Adding in modding for console, that's a huge step forward with all the difficulties that come with it. They've navigated this with lots of grace, and just done a lot of good for the community in Baldur's Gate 3, and recognize the game for its outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, including social media activity and game updates and patches. Baldur's Gate 3 also, Larian Studios has one of the funniest accounts on social media too, so gotta give them respect where it's due. Go vote for them right now at the Game Awards. They fully deserve this, so just had to make a note of that. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and also hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you all in the next video.